One of our frequent guests, Brad Forenza, he's the one who connected us with you, and you've been working on a project with him. How did you two connect?
Well, through his stepfather, who I grew up with, Sonny Gorga, who was the Italian dreamboat of my high school class.
Ooh.
He's a spectacular guy. And then he wound up, unlike most of the Italian dreamboats, he wound up in Boca, where he knew my mother, who was also in Boca. So actually, that was the connection. He said, "Oh, well, you know my stepfather," and the first I have to recover from the fact that I'm old enough to know anybody's stepfather, and then, or now it's step grandfather. So that was how the connection happened. But it was a very interesting audio drama that he came up with. It was a chance for me to act, and I don't get too many chances. I mean, I did Hairspray for 2 years.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, how was that touring with Hairspray?
How was it? It was fabulous. My feet will never be the same because I was in fat lady heels for 2 years, and I'm totally broken as a result. But that's minor because it was the highlight. It was the highlight of performing life. I mean, it's a great show, and the people in it were fantastic. And what fun to go out there and be Edna Turnblad, who's
For 2 years.
A wonderful character. I mean, she's funny and warm and real, and you don't
great
get
songs.
and well, the music was written for Harvey Firestein, so you don't have to sing that great because he sings. The only person who had the key that Harvey had would be Arthur. The two of them had to sing.
All right. Well, you and Brad's current project, Brad has a video. Let's watch that video.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jeff Probst. Nope, I'm Phil Keegan. No, that's not it either. I'm Brad Forenza, creator of Around the Sun, an episodic audio drama available wherever you listen to podcasts. And this year, Around the Sun Season 2 is moving out of New York City and into the desert. We've got a great cast for you, including Caroline Aaron, Adassa, Mindy Cohn, Richard Kind, Richard Cline, Jennie Kwan, Piper Laurie, Taylor Purdee, Bruce Vilanch, and me, Brad Forenza. So we'll see you in the desert this fall, 2022. All right, did we get it? We need a drink. It's hot.
All right, let's bring Brad in.
What company? I mean, hi, Brad.
Hi. Yay.
In Area 51, I can see them. They may sneak up on you. Don't be careful. If you feel a tentacle, not what you think.
So Brad, remind our fans about what Around the Sun is all about.
Sure. It's a episodic audio drama. What does that mean? Well, Around the Sun is scripted. Every episode is self-contained. So in season 2, where we move from New York City out into the desert, you're going to meet wonderful characters portrayed by the likes of Mr. Bruce Vilanch, who plays 2 unique characters in 2 unique episodes. And one of them's a comedy, his forte. And I think what might have clinched the ask is a drama that he just referred to called Area 51. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of fun with it. And you saw the others in the cast. It'll be available in October on the Broadway Podcast Network. And thank you for letting me talk about it here, Amber.
Tell us a bit more of the structure, how you go from the script to getting the cast and then producing the show.
Sure. Well, I did have a connection with Mr. Valance through my stepfather, Angelo Sonny Gorga, who's watching. I won't say the year.
Hello, Rough Rider.
Happy birthday.
Our class was the Rough Riders. This was not a sexual reference.
He told a great story about you the other day, and maybe I can circle back to it. But yeah, knowing that I had this privileged, fortunate connection with Mr. Valance, I threw caution to the wind and wrote a character with Mr. Valance in mind, hoping he would say yes. And he did say yes. And unlike season 1, Amber, which you were gracious enough in helping me to promote, the pieces for season 2 are written expressly for the audio drama medium. So the pieces for season 1 had been developed over time in 10-minute play circles, but the pieces for season 2, it's a quicker turnaround. The pieces for season 1 were produced during pandemic. Hopefully, let me not say this too loud. Hopefully we're past pandemic, knock on wood. So it was just a quicker turnaround. And every piece is self-contained. And every piece, I'd like to think, has a bit of an existential flair, comedy, drama, farce, or otherwise. And yeah, they can be enjoyed while you're brushing your teeth, while you're in your car, while you're falling asleep, all that good stuff. There's amazing talent in it. And I'm not just saying that because a huge, wonderful, amazing talent is with us tonight.
So Bruce, how was your what was your reaction when you read the script, and tell us about your part of the production and how you worked that together.
The one that I love, the Area 51, is about Trekkies, and Mindy Cohn and I are Trekkies, and it was a complicated relationship. I've been to Comic-Con in San Diego, and where people, it's like cosplay on a gigantic steroidal scale. Where people come dressed as dinosaurs, and a Galaxy Quest. If you've ever seen that movie, it's off of a Comic-Con, and so it was kind of like those kinds of people who are devoted Trekkies, and this is their life. And I just thought it was hysterical because they're sweet, but they're also nuts, and the balance, the chemical balance often gets to the nutsy side, and it certainly does in this piece. And so it was great fun to do. It was great.
And
fun.
What a joy! They're yearning for connection in real life, as we all are, and that's what the podcast is about. And in Bruce's episode with Mindy, Natalie Green from Facts of Life, and other really great things, the Scooby-Doo franchise, just wonderful, wonderful talent to bring these characters to life. No better talent to bring those characters to life.
Now, when you recorded it, where did you record it, Mindy and Bruce together or separately?
Yep.
Yeah, we run a Zoomerella, weren't we? It was on
Zoomland.
Yeah. It was. I had to remind myself not to stand up and do a Jeffrey Toobin.
True.
I know what you're talking about.
I know.
You go from Weinstein to Toobin.
Tubin, as Tube, tube. Yes.
I was thinking
Yay!
that. So, your Brad, the show debuts in October. Now, is it every week an episode comes out?
Yeah. We'll drop the first couple episodes, and one of them will be Bruce's, but not the one with Mindy. That'll be dropped in the first batch, and then throughout the fall, we'll drop one episode per week.
Well, that's fascinating. That's just fascinating.
Amber, can I also share with you? I think you'll appreciate, and Bruce will appreciate, hearing that I got to be in one of them. I was ballsy enough to put myself in one of them, and I got to act opposite Piper Laurie.
Oh, what a dream!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, all those stars
she's a great actress, Piper Laurie.
If I didn't recognize the name, I saw their face and I go, oh, I know them.
We're all going to laugh at you.
Oh, that is great, Brad. So this is season 2. What do you hope that comes out of this project?
I'm learning more and more every day, and I'm sure you and Bruce can relate, and Rusty and Russell and Dwayne. What do I hope to get out of it? I have plans, but no expectations. So I'm very happy with what happened with season 1. It empowered so much in my creative life, and I got to meet some really great people and work with some really great people. And that led to season 2, where I got to work with more really great people, Bruce and Mindy and Piper among them. So what do I hope to get out of it? I'm developing more and more as a writer, a creative every day. And Amber, I'm learning the business side of it, which is an art in itself. Bruce mentioned earlier not being great at math. That's not my strong suit either. I think with the right side of my brain. Yet, I'm sure you and Bruce can relate. These entrepreneurial skills as an independent creative that you have to tap into, they don't come as easily as the writing or the acting, but they're equally important. So that's what I'm learning, and that's all part of the process, part of the journey.
Bruce, what did you find? What was your favorite part of working with Brad or the project itself?
Well, I didn't have to wear pants.
Okay, Weinstein to Vilanch.
No. I mean, it's only people on Zoom and hookers who can work without pants. So that was a big plus. It was nice. It was nice to see to work on something. You know, I'm old enough to have. Well, I'm not old enough to have actually experienced radio the way it was legendarily done. You know, radio when I was a kid was top 40 and stuff like that. But every now and again, I'd come across a recording of a radio show from when radio was what people did at night, sitting at home listening to the radio. And this was like a recreation of that. And the wonderful thing about it is the audience, it's immersive because the audience uses their imagination to see what it looks like, to see what they're doing. And this is a dying art form because everything is CGI and spelled out. And, you know, we can do things now. I mean, tonight there are dragons flying all over, you know, I mean, and they look like real dragons. And that is what captures people's imagination. But an audio show forces the audience to make a mind picture of what they're seeing, and that you're contributing to that, and the existence of that art form is terrific. And that's one reason why I was so happy to do it.
If I can yes and Mr. Valance, I would offer something geeky and think about something I had to read for school once by Marshall McLuhan. The Medium is the Message guy that pops up in Annie Hall. He talks about hot versus cold media. And radio is a hot media where you have to fill in a lot. And that's kind of nice to not assume that your audience isn't capable of imagining the world that the actors are creating and the writer is writing.
When we were, when Get Bruce was released in '99, and we went to Sundance, where they premiered it in Sundance, and then that's where Harvey saw it and bought it. Actually, yeah, that's what. But the big movie that year was the Blair Witch Project, and nobody went. I mean, it was at midnight, and nobody showed up, and a guy picked it up for a song and made trillions off of it. And the reason it was such a success was you never saw the monster. If you remember the Blair Witch Project, the terror was that you knew the monster was there somewhere, but you never actually saw the monster. And that's radio. You never saw the monster. So all those suspense things on radio were people filling in the blanks while they listened, which is fantastic.
And probably more terrifying.
Of course, Blair Witch Project did it because they didn't have money to create a monster. So instead, they relied on the radio format of describing it kind of, but never actually seeing it. And at any moment, you thought this might happen. And of course, there was like 17 sequels to Blair Witch Project. But I mean, that's the core of radio, of audible entertainment. And it's unique.
Well, I think it's interesting how podcasts have blossomed, and I think it's because of that as well. People want to use their imaginations, or they don't want everything just spoon-fed to them. And so I think you're doing a great service there, both of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Brad. Well, come back anytime to talk about. We'll get you closer when your season debuts. It's going to be another great one, and we will be sure to promote it. So thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.